All right, guys, welcome back to Glomsky Commerce. We're going to jump into this lesson here. This is video number 1 of a 5-part series on how to find wholesale suppliers for both Amazon and for Walmart. So getting into this, number 1 here is going to be using Jungle Scout or Helium 10 to be able to identify what the products are, and then to be able to reverse engineer where we can get those via Google and via the other sellers that are on there. So excited to get into this. Let's jump into the computer and we will show you how you can do this yourself. All right, this is probably the easiest one to teach. However, the one that's going to require the most amount of time. Not exactly the most efficient. However, you're able to find things that you might not otherwise be able to find by using this method. So that's why it's included. I'm a big fan of Helium 10. You can do this with Helium 10 or with Jungle Scout or whatever your preferred product research software is on Amazon. When it comes to Walmart, though, you'll have to do a little bit of like cross-referencing, if you will, between listings on Walmart and Amazon. So we're going to start first with Amazon because it's the easiest to explain, and then we'll build off of that. So if you have Helium 10, if you don't, we'll have a link in the description for it. But product research, click on Black Box. This is the tool that you'll want to use. I'm going to shrink my head here. There we go. All right. So there's only a few key things really that we're looking for, a few things that really matter. So we want to see products. Categories we don't necessarily care about unless you are not ungated in certain categories. When you do wholesale, you actually get ungated in most categories fairly quickly because you're able to provide proof that you're getting them from legit suppliers. Eventually, if this is, round 1 for you and you're not there yet, then I apologize for making it sound so easy, but it is easier once you do find the suppliers to be able to get ungated in the categories. Don't ever pay a service to do it for you. It's not worth the thousands of dollars that they're going to charge you when you can literally just buy products from suppliers at break even. Maybe you lose a little bit, maybe you even make a little bit of money. You're able to provide Amazon with that invoice, and then you're able to get ungated in those. Okay, so much like you would do private label research, you can use, your number of sales, your monthly revenue. Basically, you're looking for a target that's really up to you. For me, I'm okay with lower competition products, things that only sell 100 times a month, 80 times a month, 50 times a month, as long as the competition on those is low. If I'm able to get into listings where I only have to buy 20 units of something, I'm okay with having multiple listings to be able to cumulatively make up a larger number. And so, maybe you set your minimum at $2,000, play with that number, go up, go down a little bit. Maximum, don't worry about that. Price, I generally find, especially with wholesale items, because of Amazon fees, it's hard to make any money. Your margins are going to be super duper thin on anything under like $17, $18. If you're selling a $10 product, even if you get that for $1, because of fees, you're going to be making maybe 50 cents, maybe 25 cents. And then all it takes is for someone to be able to drop their price because they're, maybe they get a better price than you, or they're just idiots and they don't realize they're losing money, and then they ruin it for everybody. So you want to make sure you have a pricey enough product where you're able to make money even if prices fluctuate up or down. Review counts. We actually, we're not too concerned about the number of reviews. Maybe we just don't want like a brand new product. So let's say like 50 reviews. Review rating. Ideally, you sell, highly rated products. If you sell things that are 2 or 3 star reviews, there's a chance actually as a seller that they, the person that buys the product, they leave a bad review for the product, but maybe they also leave a bad review for the seller just because, and they don't know the difference between the two. And so you could run the risk of that, even though it's just a crappy product. It's not that you're a crappy seller. So I'd like to avoid, stuff below 3 stars, but there's also things that have never come back to bite me that are, 3.5 stars, not everybody's favorite product, but it's kind of a necessity. And I was able to sell, quite a bit of this product, despite it not having a great rating from consumers. So if you wanted to, you could go 3.5, whatever you want. Okay, so now getting into some of this here. Ideally, you want things that are selling well. And so you can do monthly sales, you can do just the revenue, you can go by BSR. All of those are going to accomplish similar things. What I'm going to do is just minimum number of sales. I want there to be at least 50 sales. Now, what I'm not going to get is things that sell 10,000 units a month. Those are private label brands, or those are crazy saturated products. You're not going to be able to find products, that you have a shot at being a small seller if they're selling that much. So ideally, you really want to be under 1,000 units, unless you are prepared to spend a lot of money. Like I'm talking tens of thousands of dollars to be able to get a competitive price on some of these products. So we're just going to go 800 units. Okay, this is probably the most important part of this. Number of sellers. This is crucial. If you see products that have one person selling them, that's a private label product. Sometimes even two sellers selling it. People that have private label products, sometimes they'll be FBA and they'll be FBM on the same listing. That way, when they're out of stock in FBA, it automatically still keeps that listing live for FBM. So if you have two, there's a chance that's still a private label product. Okay. If you have three, possibly it's wholesale, or possibly it's private label with a hijacker. And so ideally, I do 4 or more sellers. 4 or more sellers, max, we're going to say 25. You can find, good items where there's more than 25 sellers, but we want to just keep it within that range here. For my business, I am okay with FBM. I have 3PLs. I have a garage that's literally set up like a warehouse, so I'm okay with this. What I'm not okay with, though, is Amazon selling the products. So we're going to go FBA and FBM. We're going to avoid products that Amazon is selling because they're just not fair with their setup. You will not make hardly any sales. You will not be able to beat their price. And so you just sit on items forever. So I don't even want to look at those. So step 1 is basically identifying products through these tools. And then we're going to be able to look up the brands to be able to find, can we sell these on Amazon? Can we not? And a lot of this, you don't even have to leave Helium 10 or Jungle Scout. You can just, through the results, break down what you're looking at and know, should I take this any further or not? And so we're going to do that next. As we're running this, I just hit search. You can you can sort rather by any one of these. So if you want to see the ones that sell the most, you can check those out. If you want to look for what's most expensive and hope maybe less people are selling it, you have to buy fewer units, your MOQ would be lower. That's a possibility. I actually like to go by the number of sellers. So I want to see the lowest number of sellers. So everything that's 4. And then as I'm scrolling down, I'm going to just eliminate all private label products until I get, or not eliminate, but disregard them until I get to one that I know I can do wholesale on. So Bluebonnet Nutrition, if you look at the brand and the seller, Bluebonnet is the brand, right? The seller is also Bluebonnet. So this is a private label product, even though there's 4 sellers. So this person has a couple of hijackers that they're dealing with. Look here though, Oral-B, most of us recognize that brand. The seller is Super Sales. So we know, obviously Oral-B is a big brand. This is something that you're not going to necessarily contact Oral-B for, but you will potentially be able to get this from a distributor. So we're just going to open that up. I'm going to go until I find a few of these. Brand is Carpet Fresh. Seller is Prime Day. Sometimes you can tell just by the name where people get their stuff too, which is funny. Not so much this guy, but there's one that's they drop ship or they wholesale from Sam's Club. Probably a combination of both. I'm sure they're drop shipping heavy. But literally they have Sam's Club in their seller name, which is humorous to me. Miracle Suit. Seller is this. There's 4 sellers. We could take a look at it possibly. Calvin Klein, maybe you can, get that from a distributor. There's no way you're working with Calvin Klein, the brand, unless you are like a massive, massive company. Batteries, I stay away from anything batteries. Beauty, I can sell beauty products, but a lot of them actually fall under like hazmat flammable. And so you can only send in so many units. So that's something to be wary of. So we're going to avoid it for now. Xbox, I'm going to avoid that as well. T-Sack, T-Filters. A good tip for you, replenishables. So grocery, things that, get consumed or reused, they're disposable. That's like super awesome for wholesale. Generally, there's a pretty high demand and You're able to kind of just find specific products and just keep reselling the same things. And if the listings look like crap, it actually doesn't matter. Like this, people know just by the size and the count if it's what they want. These pictures don't have to be pretty, and these can make a lot of sales. One thing that pops out to me, paper in a box, it's going to be heavier. Possibly not, actually. Okay, so if this was like copy paper, it'd probably be heavier, but with like the filters, maybe not. But this is currently, the buy box is FBM, and then he's selling for $35. Anyone Prime is $40 or more. Always look at your Helium 10 chart, Jungle Scout as well. Make sure that the sales make sense. Look for any seasonality. And then if you want to take it a step further, download KeepUp and confirm, has Amazon been selling it ever? Are they selling it now? Will they, come back at some point if they're not selling it right now, but they have sold it in the past? Those are all things that you're looking for right here. But if we got to this point, let's say we're interested in possibly looking to see where we can get this. You're literally just taking the brand name and you're going to search it in Google. We're going to start with this and we're going to see what pops up. Okay, so TSAC. Generally, at first, you're just going to find like retail type websites. I never even look at the websites. Like, to me, I take this from like a data standpoint. Not like, ooh, this looks cool. I just straight to top or bottom. Where can I see, contact us, about us, wholesale. Those are the three things I'm looking for. Right down here, we see wholesale. So we could potentially, I will apply to this without even knowing if their prices are good or not, because the main thing is just getting accounts. So as we're reading it here, thank you for your interest in becoming a blah, 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 blah. Minimum of $200. In addition, you will need to maintain an annual purchase amount of $1,000. So they work with really small sellers, which could be a good thing, could be not a great thing. There could be a lot of competition and a lot of like newbies that don't necessarily know what they're doing. That could be reflecting on the Amazon or Walmart sales. Okay, so you can do credit terms or credit card. Anytime you can get credit terms like 30-day terms with a supplier, it's a thing of beauty. Definitely, work on your personal and business credit. I'll be making videos on how to do that. But really what I'm looking for here is, do they outright say we don't sell to Amazon sellers? If they outright say it, like make it obvious, I just move on. Sometimes they won't say it and they'll ask you later, and then you have to just let them know. Looks like we're good to apply for this one, so I'm going to go ahead and apply. All right, from here, I just go ahead and bookmark the site. I have a wholesale list. I'm not going to show you because then you'll see what my suppliers are. Basically, I have one for we want to get with them. So phase one, I forget what it's even called. One is like looking for accounts, have accounts. So it's separated so I know the difference between them. And then I'll be on the lookout for an email from them. Hopefully you didn't see that. All right, so next here, we're going to look at, let's go back here. There we go. So our list, we just went over the paper one. Basically, we would follow the same process, except what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the Oral-B example because I know I'm not going to just work with the brand Oral-B, right? So what we're going to do next, let's actually copy the item number 2 because possibly that helps. We're going to search Google for this. And then what we want to do is actually throw in some terms that are going to help us to identify ones that will be more wholesale. There's a slight chance this is actually a drop shipped product. So I did open this site is just kind of a dead end. So we're going to move past that. Okay, so we want to rule out whether or not this is a drop ship product. Sells for $39.98. On Amazon, it's $44.88. If you notice, these are very heavily FBM. I drop ship on Walmart. That's why I'm able to recognize this right away. I don't mess with Amazon because I value my Amazon seller account and I don't want to have something happen to where, my private label, my wholesale, everything falls apart. So we do not touch Amazon drop shipping. However, the premise of it is very much the same. So this is a drop ship product. It's ships from here, sold by them. Basically what they do is put up this listing, someone buys it, they go buy it from Sam's Club, ship it directly to them. They probably, on a $44 product, $45 product, they're probably making $1 or $2. They're not making very much. Margins are very thin, especially on Amazon for drop shipping. So yeah, we're gonna disregard this one here. So get back here, and there, as you can see, they probably have a nightmare keeping stuff in stock for dropship products. Okay, so this is one that is FBA, so it's not going to rule that out. 14 ounces and a 12 pack. So this has probably got a little bit of weight to it. That's something to keep in mind. Carpet Fresh is the brand, so we're going to look them up. And so if this was the Oral-B one, here's what we're doing. There we go. We're going to go straight to Carpet Fresh first. See, can we buy from the brand? If not, where can these be bought from? So this is like WD-40. A lot of these bigger cleaning ones, you might run into issues actually shipping this stuff FBA because of chemicals that are in them. So that's something to be wary of. Contact us, store locator, investor information. Like, this is probably a product you're getting from a distributor. So now what we're going to do, since we know we're not going to the brand, we're going to go become a dealer. Can't spell. Become a dealer, wholesale, distributor, terms like that. We're going to be able to hopefully find, certain sections of sites. With something like this, though, there's a chance we actually run into like carpet cleaners and see if that becomes a problem here. I'm a dealer. Yeah, this looks like vacuum-ish. So we're going to disregard this. As I mentioned on the onset, this is one that probably takes the longest, but once you do find some of these products, you generally are able to find some pretty good opportunities. This is like the worst example ever, because carpet cleaning is, you have vacuums, you have services, you have vacuum repair type companies. There's so many other things that are going to probably show up in Google that it's hard to find just the right type of wording to have that show up. So we're going to scratch this. One, for the weight. I know we're gonna struggle to have much profit even if we do end up finding one. Even if these are $1 a piece, we're looking at $12. We have to ship it either to our house or to a warehouse, and then there's shipping on top of that. And so some of these are actually FBM as well, and they're more expensive. So I'm just going to move past this one. And something that we'll jump into next here is there's a lot that can be told once you find a wholesale product. There's a lot that can be told from the seller account of the one that's selling the items. That's going to be, I want to say video 3 or 4, but that's something that's going to be super duper helpful. All right, so we scroll down, online retailers and partners. They also have an affiliate program, but we want this. All right, so sometimes brands have specific companies that they have for, like Amazon. They're in Dillard's, everything but water. I don't see Amazon or Walmart here. So they have a section of their site for wholesale, and it looks like it's not open yet. So this is one maybe you would bookmark to save for later. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to move on to another one, and then once I find one, so this isn't like a 50-minute long video, once I find one, I'll show you where to go from there. All right, so we found one here. Took just a little bit. Windshare puzzles and games. We Googled that. We found Windshare.com, so this is the brand itself. Come over here. A sign that you've got the right site is you're not going to see any pricing, or you might see like minimum order amounts, but you won't see individual, like this item costs, $30, $50, whatever. And so here you would just register, to become a dealer with them. And yeah, so it's, kind of a tedious process. The reason I included this on the list is not because I want you to spend hours and hours and hours searching. Follow these steps, follow this process, because eventually you do find great products. You will. Don't do it yourself. Hire a virtual assistant, pay them $2, $3, $4 an hour, spend $100 and have a list of 50 products in suppliers that now you can reorder from. Have them do the front end work. Okay. So this was for Amazon. What if you want to take this on to Walmart? Well, easy way to do this. For one, Helium 10 is great for Walmart. If you use Jungle Scout, I mean, you use Helium 10. That's all I'm going to say. But from here, literally you could just search it in Google and see if they pop up. But this brand here, we can also go to walmart.com and just search the brand. So Windshare puzzles, Windshare cube. I saw these on their site, and boom. Now, when you are searching in Walmart, it's very important. Just like Amazon doesn't share sales, you don't want Walmart Plus. You don't want like bigger brands that are selling their own stuff, right? Because then you get IP issues. You want to see this. You want to see 3+ day shipping. That means it's not necessarily in a warehouse either. Potentially they have their own warehouse, or they're just shipping it from whatever arrangements they have. So from here, what you would do, figure out, okay, I can sell this. How much of it do I need to buy? This brand, it's $150. Figure out how many sales happen on Amazon, how many sales happen on Walmart. Combine that number. Figure out, is this worth me making the purchase so that I can sell on these platforms? Are these items profitable? Figure all that out as well. So part of this little training, I actually have a template that I'm going to share with you guys. Let me pull it up here real quick. So this is a wholesale order template that I use. I actually have my VAs use it. So they'll put the link for the Walmart product, the supplier SKU. They'll just paste the website link directly to that product, or they'll put the SKU there. The sale price is what it's selling for, our cost, and the profit. And then if there's not free shipping, or if we're going to use Deliverr or some other shipping service, we need to figure out their fees. And so we'll put that number in there. It all is formulated to where when you fill this out, all this other stuff will follow suit. Put in the total number of units. This will calculate, based off of number of sellers plus you, and the total number of units per month. It'll figure out how many each seller should be getting that is competitive. It's not something where if there's 50 sellers, 3 are one price and then the rest are totally random and they're higher. You're really focused on those 3. So this is something I'm going to make available to you guys. You just make a copy of it and then use this as you go along. Just dump your products into here, and then you can comb through it and sort through it and make educated buying decisions once you have everything out in front of you. So that's all I have for this video. There's more that I can get into, but I don't want to ramble too much. And a lot of it really is just putting in the time. So follow the principles. Stay away from Amazon. Stay away from Walmart selling. Focus on people that are obviously not drop shipping. If you can identify those, as we were able to, and so once you can find someone that's selling this product, for example, figure out who they are. Go to their storefront, and then figure out what else they're selling to. So it's just a little teaser for you, and we will get into how you can use this method in one of the next videos here. So that's it for this one. If you guys found any value in this, go ahead and give this a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We have 4 more of these coming, just part of this series. And then I also do, as I mentioned, drop shipping on Walmart. And then we have our own private label brands as well. And so there's going to be lots of good information that you will learn if you do stick around. Excuse me, I cannot talk tonight. If you stick around to see what we have to share. So that's it for this one. I'm going to wrap it up. Hopefully you liked it, and we'll see you in the next one.